For being here. Welcome. I'd like to also thank all of the audience from all over the world. I believe that we're being live streamed. And thank all the other beautiful speakers who've been here before me and coming after me. And also David Said Farman for putting this beautiful event together. And he's definitely has a lot of drive, energy, and he's persistent. So I thank him for his energy and not giving up and keep going. I don't think he's around, but anyway, he will hear this later. We're going to do a fifth dimensional quantum healing, and I'll explain to you, for those of you who haven't been with me before, what that is, as well as a third eye activation. We're going to throw that in there. I wasn't sure I was supposed to be doing it, but this beautiful, wonderful lady, she mentioned that I'm doing a third eye activation, so I guess I'm doing that. About fifth dimensional quantum healing and fifth dimensional quantum awareness. Briefly, I will explain to you what that is and how it works. Basically, if we cannot be in here and now in this very, very present moment, then we're somewhere else. And our vibrations are not rising. If we are somewhere else, that means we're in our minds. We're not in our hearts. So our minds are spinning. We're imagining things. We're thinking about the past, or we're worrying about future, or imagining about future, or whatever it is. So we're somewhere else. When we're totally present in this moment, then what happens is basically we sink into our hearts. Now, for a lot of us, especially in Los Angeles or in big cities in the modern world, it's very difficult to be here because of the nature of the mind and the nature of what is happening today in our world. Because we're being bombarded by all kinds of news from different medias, and everything is about worry, 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 what's going to happen. A while ago, our biggest worry was December 21st, year 2012, and we all saw that nothing happened. And now probably we have worries about what's going to happen in the future, whether there's going to be a tsunami coming, or some aliens going to come take over, or some major corporations, the evil, the dark side is going to pollute us, our minds, our bodies, our children, and take over. So we're worried about things. What happened for me long time ago is I realized that I was looking for freedom. And what I mean by freedom is that I wanted to have a silent mind, quiet, and be very present in my heart and be at peace. And whatever is the price for that, I was willing to pay for it. And then I started a journey to go to different teachers, masters, healers from all over the world. I was lucky through the grace of Lord, grace of life, that I had encounters with these beautiful beings, and I wanted to get what they had. And the most amazing one that I came across that I felt very much resonated with was Master Punjaji, that we called him Papaji. And I wanted what he had because I realized that this man has found inner peace, and I wanted that. We can call it enlightenment, we can call it whatever words that we like, but I wanted that inner peace. I wanted to be in a place that I'm not into my head, I'm not worrying all the time, I'm not jealous or angry or whatever is going on here. They don't want to deal with that all the time and spend the whole life being in anxiety and fear. So eventually, through sitting with all these different teachers and going to all these different places, doing a little practice, not much, slowly, by paying attention and listening to my teacher, I realized that there is a place right now, right here, without doing any practice, without doing any jumping jacks. If I pay attention, is right over here, and I put my finger, I'm directing to this way, but this is not really, it's just a symbolic indication when I say here. This place is here, always here. And this place is very still. It's like this. And it doesn't care about feeling good or feeling bad. This is not about feeling good or feeling bad. And I'm going to get into that too, because all my life I was chasing states, and I was a junkie looking for states. This is not a state. This is a place pre-states. This is a place that can see states, but it's not involved. And it's always like this. And each and every one of us have this place. And there's nothing you need to do to gain it. If you have to gain it, you will lose it. It's something that you have inherited at birth, and you will die with it. You just have to recognize this place. And I was lucky, through the grace of life, my guru, my teachers, God, whatever name we like to put into it, because nowadays the word God is kind of tacky, but I'm old-fashioned, so I use the word God. For some reason, whatever it was, whether I had a good karmic life or whatever, I don't know, I was led to it, and I discovered it within my own self. This place is still and silent. It's a silent and still place within you, within me. And once you recognize this place and your attention goes on it, because our attention normally, we're not being trained to put our attention on this place. We're trained to put our attention on outside of ourselves through whatever methods or techniques that there are available, but we're not paying attention to this place. So we're kind of spinning our wheels and running around from one place to another, from one book to another book, from one teacher to another teacher, from one partner to another partner, from one drug to alcohol to sex to rock and roll to gurus, whatever it is, looking for something that is going to bring us peace. But not realizing that this place is already within our own selves. We may have heard it, we may repeat it and tell other people, as I've done it in the past, like a parrot, repeating something to other people because I had an intellectual understanding of it, but I didn't really know it. So what happened is, through going a lot of ups and downs, and I'll explain that to you, I discovered this place, that this place observes my ups and downs. And then when I discovered this place, my attention started to come to it. And the more my attention came to this place, the more my vibration started to rise. And when your vibrations start to rise, what happens is you enter into a different frequency. And when you do enter into a different frequency, then reality changes. And you may be right now on this planet with everybody else, but you're not going to be subject to certain experiences or certain events or certain fears or certain diseases that are affecting everybody else. They will not affect you because you're not vibrating in that frequency. And so your reality changes. So what I realized was that I don't need to go out there and demonstrate and try to change the world or fight the evil forces. All I have to do is bring my attention to this inner stillness through my silence, and my vibrations change. And I change frequency, and my reality changes. And I live a different life. Simultaneously, when I'm occupying the same space as everybody else, and they're suffering because all these things are happening, I'm seeing their suffering. I have compassion for it, but it's not affecting me. So I can't really feel it. And it has nothing to do with having compassion or not, or being a good person or a bad person. If I'm not feeling something, what can I do? I can just feel sorry for someone, but I'm not feeling the pain, or I'm not feeling the suffering. So, I'm giving you the pearls right now. I'm giving you the key. This is what I searched for over 20 years, from one master to another master, from one country to another country. All you have to do is bring your attention to this place within your own self, which is here, and it's like this. And it's not moving. And when you pay attention to it and start identifying to it, your vibration starts to raise, and you enter into a different frequency. So this is the secret. This is the magic. If there is such a thing, this is it. Now, very quickly, I'm going to explain what I mean by states. Since I was looking to be high, whether if it was through drugs, alcohol, danger, because I love danger, and what the danger brought to me would make me really high, or sex, or pursuing having sex, because it would just brings this really feeling of high, which is still there. It's not gone, but there's awareness about it. And gurus. I loved sitting and being around awakened beings and the unified field they would create, and I still love it. If I come across any teachers or gurus that I can have the time to go to their satsang, or they're in town or whatever, I love it, because I can go sit there and tap into the juice and get really high. I love the high. But I realize with every high, no matter how high I get, okay, I'm whacked out on some drugs and alcohol and sex and rock and roll and danger or whatever, and I'm really, really high for a week, but at the end of the day, I always have to come back to myself. At the end of the day, I always take myself to bed. It doesn't matter if I have my beloved with me or not. In that very last moment, I'm always ending up with myself. And no matter how high I get, there's always also a opposite of it, because we're going from feeling good to feeling bad, from feeling bad to feeling good, from a cycle that everything's going well to a cycle that things aren't going well. And often we report it. We report it to ourselves, and we report it to our friends. Oh, I've been so, Zarathustra, I've been so depressed, I've been so down, I'm going through these anxieties and da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? Or Zarathustra, I feel so great, everything's so good, wow. So my question is, how do you know that you feel good, and how do you know that you feel bad? How do you know that? How do you know you have an anxiety or you're afraid, and how do you know that you're in love and there's all these good feelings coming out? So, yeah. So, don't we have to measure it against something? It's like, for example, I go to Norway a lot, and it snows there. And let's say there is a 1 foot of snow in Norway. Okay, 1 foot of snow against what? How do you measure it? 1 foot of snow against zero ground, which is not moving, because the ground is not going up and down. So we had 1 foot of snow, so they measured it against the 0. And then a week after, there's 2 feet of snow. So 2 feet of snow against what? Against the ground, which is not moving. That's 0. So if you look at this example, then and pay attention to this. Pay attention to this, because you say, I'm feeling good and I'm feeling bad. Okay? So there is a me saying, I am feeling good. So as if feeling good is an object outside of myself, because I'm aware of it and I'm reporting it to myself and I'm reporting it to other people. Or I say, oh my God, my mind is great. I have a very strong mind and I have all these thoughts, da 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 da. So there's a me aware of these thoughts. Okay, so where is this me? Where is this me that can see the thoughts when it's very busy and also when it's very quiet? So don't I have to be somewhere which is not connected to either of it? Don't I have to be somewhere which is witnessing it? That I'm aware of my thoughts being very busy or my mind being quiet? Or I'm feeling good or I'm feeling bad? Don't I have to be somewhere neutral? That's what I'm talking about. That's where the real you is. That's where the stillness is. That's the real you, and this other you who's always feeling good or feeling bad, that's the imaginary part of you. That's not real. It's not real, and I'll tell you why it's not real. It's not real because it's not always there. The only real thing in this life is that which doesn't change and that which is always here. Anything else is not real. Because imagine that when you get up every day and you walk into your kitchen, does it happen ever that your kitchen is not there? Like 3 days a week your kitchen is not there, and 4 days a week it's there. Does it happen? I mean, unless you're on some really great acid or something. Otherwise, if you're in a normal state and mentally stable, then your kitchen is always there. So your kitchen is real. But how come your feelings, you're sometimes feeling good and sometimes you're feeling bad, or sometimes your mind is very busy and sometimes you're not? And how real are these thoughts? That they're there and they're not there. If they're real, don't they have to be there all the time, right in front of in your face? If your feelings are absolutely the reality, don't you always have to feel anxiety? Or don't you always have to feel love? How come they come and go? But how come you don't? You're the one who's witnessing and observing him and reporting it to your friends. So you are here, and the rest of the things come and go. So my friends, this is a whole another realm of conversation, which is fifth dimensional quantum awareness, which is nothing new. There's nothing new that I'm sharing with you, because all of this has already been talked about in different languages and different teachers with different tastes. It's just this is a new expression of the same teaching, that it's already there. So we can talk about this some other time, but I just wanted to explain to you what is fifth dimensional quantum healing and fifth dimensional quantum awareness. The fifth dimensional, and how do we enter into fifth dimension, is by raising our vibrations to a higher frequency. How do we raise our vibrations to a higher frequency? By bringing your attention to this place within yourself, which is very still and very silent. That's all you need to do. Just bring your attention to this place inside yourself. It has nothing to do with feeling good or feeling bad. Okay? Because after we're done here, you're probably going to feel really good. But then when you start driving and you get back to your home or whatever the drama of the story that we all have, then you may feel shitty. So this has nothing to do with feeling good or feeling bad. This is where you can see feeling good and feeling bad. So you bring your attention to it and your vibration starts to rise. So when fifth dimensional quantum healing came to me or revealed itself or chose me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing apparently for however long it wants to use this guy and express itself, I also realized that in order to raise our vibrations to a higher frequency on a group basis, it's the best way is to use a series of meditations, that these meditations will lead us to raise our vibrations.